He was seconds away from death, and he didn't even know it. The waitress didn't scream. She didn't warn him. She only switched his glass and walked away. Welcome to the story room. While you are here, please hit the subscribe button and comment your view on the story and where you're watching from. Let me tell you a story that begins in a noisy coastal city where the sea never sleeps and neither do the worries of men who pretend they have everything under control. This story is about a man named Daniel Rowe. Daniel was known across the city as a powerful man, not because he was loud or charming, but because he owned one of the largest shipping and logistics companies along the coast. His cargo ships crossed oceans. His warehouses never closed. His phone never stopped ringing. Money followed him everywhere. Respect followed him too. But peace had stopped following him a long time ago. Daniel was in his early 40s, tall, always well-dressed, and always tired. The kind of tired sleep cannot fix. The kind that sits quietly in your chest and makes breathing feel heavy. On this particular evening, Daniel walked into a small seaside restaurant tucked between old buildings and salt-stained walls. It was not a place for rich men. No golden lights. No soft music. Just wooden tables, the smell of grilled fish, and the sound of waves crashing nearby. He came there not because he liked the food, but because no one recognized him there. Daniel sat alone by the window. Outside, the sea was dark and restless. Inside, he loosened his tie and rubbed his temples. His hands trembled slightly, though he tried to hide it. Earlier that day, his doctor had warned him. "You are under extreme stress," the doctor said. "Your heart is not as strong as you think. You need rest. Or one day, your body will stop asking." Daniel laughed then. A short, empty laugh. Men like him didn't stop. They collapsed. At the restaurant, he ordered a drink he always ordered. Something strong. Something that burned on the way down. He believed pain meant control. That's when the server noticed him. Her name was Aisha. Aisha was not rich. She worked long hours to support her younger brother and an aging aunt. She noticed details others ignored. Faces. Hands. Breathing. When she came to Daniel's table, she didn't see a powerful businessman. She saw a man who looked like he was running from something and losing. As she placed the glass in front of him, she noticed his hands shake. His breathing was shallow. His eyes looked distant, as if his body was there but his mind was already somewhere else. Daniel stared at the drink for a moment. Then he reached for it. And that is when something small, something almost invisible, began to change everything. Aisha walked away from the table, but she did not forget the man by the window. She had seen many people come and go. Tourists, workers, couples, lonely souls. But something about Daniel stayed with her. Maybe it was the way he sat so stiffly, like he was carrying a heavy weight on his shoulders. Or maybe it was the way he looked at the sea, as if he was asking it a question and hoping it wouldn't answer. From behind the counter, Aisha watched him lift the glass and pause. His hand shook more now. She remembered her father. He had been a strong man too. A driver who worked long nights. He ignored pain. Ignored warning signs. One night, he never came home. The memory tightened her chest. Aisha felt something wasn't right. She didn't know why. She had no proof. Just a quiet voice inside her saying, "Pay attention." She noticed Daniel touch his chest briefly, then lower his hand as if ashamed. He took a slow breath, then another, each one uneven. Around them, the restaurant buzzed with life. Plates clattered. Laughter rose. Music played softly in the background. But at that table, something felt wrong. Aisha approached again, pretending to wipe the table beside him. "Sir," she said gently, "would you like some water?" Daniel looked up, surprised. "I didn't ask for it." Her voice remained calm. "It's on the house." He hesitated, then nodded. "Fine." She returned with a glass of water, and as she placed it down, her eyes fell again on his drink. She noticed something strange. A faint, unfamiliar smell. Something sharp. Something that didn't belong. Her heart skipped. The restaurant had been busy. Someone could have made a mistake. Or someone could have done something worse. Aisha didn't panic. She didn't call attention. She didn't accuse anyone. She made a decision. Quietly. She picked up his drink. "I'll replace this," she said softly. "It's too warm." Daniel frowned. "It's fine." She met his eyes for a brief moment. In that look, there was no fear, only concern. "Please," she said. "Trust me." Something in her voice made him let go. She walked away, her heart racing, and poured the drink down the sink. She prepared a fresh one, carefully, slowly, watching every step. When she returned, she placed the new glass in front of him and walked away without another word. Daniel stared at the glass. He didn't know why, but for the first time that night, his hand stopped shaking. Daniel took a small sip. It tasted different. Cleaner. Lighter. He frowned and glanced toward the counter, where Aisha was pretending to arrange menus. Minutes passed. Then something happened. At the table next to him, a man suddenly collapsed. People screamed. Chairs scraped. Panic spread like fire. Before the story continues, subscribe to my channel. These stories are written to change lives. Daniel stood up quickly, and then the world tilted. A sharp pain shot through his chest. His vision blurred. His knees weakened. He grabbed the edge of the table, gasping. "This is it," he thought. Someone shouted for help. Another called for an ambulance. Aisha rushed toward him. "Sir, sit down," she said, guiding him into the chair. Daniel clutched his chest. His heart pounded wildly, then slowed. Too much. "I think," he whispered. "I think something's wrong." She held his hand firmly. "Stay with me. Breathe. Look at me." The ambulance arrived quickly. Paramedics checked him, then looked at each other with serious faces. On the way to the hospital, Daniel drifted in and out of consciousness. Later, in a quiet hospital room, a doctor stood by his bed. "You were minutes away," the doctor said calmly. "Whatever was in that first drink could have stopped your heart." Daniel's blood ran cold. He remembered the glass, the smell, the replacement. He remembered Aisha. "If I had drunk it," he whispered. The doctor nodded. "You wouldn't be here." That night, Daniel did not sleep. Not because of pain, but because of realization. A stranger had saved his life. Without praise. Without reward. Without even explaining. Just a quiet choice. 2 days later, Daniel returned to the restaurant. Not in a suit this time. No tie. No phone pressed to his ear. Just a man walking slowly, carefully, like someone seeing the world again for the first time. Aisha was surprised to see him. "You're alive," she said softly. "Because of you," Daniel replied. He told her everything. The doctor's words. The truth about the drink. The fear that still lingered. Aisha listened quietly. "I didn't know for sure," she said. "I just felt something was wrong." Daniel swallowed hard. "Why didn't you say anything?" She smiled sadly. Sometimes doing the right thing doesn't need an explanation. He offered her money. A large amount. She refused. "I don't want to be paid for caring," she said. That answer stayed with him longer than any business deal ever had. They talked for hours. About life. About loss. About choices. For the first time in years, Daniel felt something break open inside him. Not fear. Not pride. But gratitude. Months passed. Daniel changed his life. He stepped back from endless work. He fixed broken relationships. He listened to his body, to people, to silence. He funded health clinics along the coast. Quietly. No press. No headlines. And every month, he returned to that restaurant, not as a powerful man, but as a grateful one. Aisha kept serving tables. Still kind. Still watchful. Some people save lives with loud actions. Others do it with a simple choice. A glass switched. A moment noticed. A life spared. And if you're listening to this story today, remember this. You don't need power to matter. You don't need wealth to change lives. Sometimes, all it takes is pay. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the Story Room for meaningful stories that inspire and teach life lessons.